a very high trusted former FBI agent that told all of us for 3.5 years that he has evidence that Trump is colluding with Russia. This FBI agent is going to be pleading guilty this week for colluding with Russia. Also, Jack Smith is caught red-handed playing around with the jury. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to ANN, American News Network. I'm your host, Vlad. We're going to talk about this FBI agent first. So, former FBI agent Charles McGonigal, or however you pronounce his name, he was in charge of investigating the Russia collusion, right? He came out and he told us that we have evidence Trump is colluding with Russia. He's a foreign agent. He's got Russia money. Well, this week, he will be pleading guilty in a federal courthouse for colluding with Russia and with Russian intelligence and with the Kremlin. That's right. The guy that told us that Trump needs to be impeached. The guy that told us that Trump needs to be arrested because he's an agent of Russia. He's colluding with Kremlin. Such a bad guy. That same Charles McGonigal, however you pronounce his name, I'm not even going to try. That same Charles McGonigal, he's about to plead guilty for colluding with Russia in a federal courthouse. So there's money laundering. He laundered, they're saying, over $250 million for the Kremlin. They're saying he gave up top intelligence information to like the Russian CIA, like the KGB type of thing, whatever they have today. And also he worked with oligarchs to get them connected with United States markets, right? Oligarchs that were being sanctioned by the United States. He would take payments from them to try and pull some strings for them here in the United States to get those sanctions lifted so that those Russian oligarchs can do business. This is a never-Trumper guy who lied to us. It's interesting. I've said this before and I'll say it again. Everything they blame him, Trump, for, they're guilty of themselves. They're trying to, when they're pointing at him and trying to point out his sins, it's actually their sins. He colluded with Russia, right? That's what they told us. Well, now we know they're colluding with Russia. Money laundering through Ukraine. I mean, it goes on and on and on. But we have an even bigger story. So this one right here should just, that feels good. Remember how I said it yesterday in my video, guys? We're done playing defense. We're going to the offense. This is a great offense story. In the end, it's not Trump that's going to jail for Russian collusion. It's the guy that told us that Trump is colluding with Russia. He's actually going to prison for colluding with Russia. Well, I'm not sure if he's getting what's going to happen in sentencing, but I'm going to be going off my phone notes here. So Jack Smith, he knew that the jury in Florida is probably not going to indict Trump on these bogus charges, the document case. It's now discovered that the jury in Florida that actually decided to indict Trump was actually a DC jury. He handpicked a jury from Washington, D.C., flew them to Florida to vote if Trump should be indicted in Florida on those charges. But the jury was from D.C., a very Trump-hating area of this country, because, the swamp pulls everything in and devours everything that's around it. Judge Aileen Cannon on Monday blasted Jack Smith for operating a secret out-of-district grand jury. Cannon rebuked Jack Smith in a blistering order reviewed by the Gateway Pundit on Monday. Recall, at the last minute, Jack Smith impaneled a grand jury in Miami to indict Trump in Florida. So apparently the rumor is the original grand jury did not, it was looking like they're not going to have Trump indicted. So Jack Smith, being the little snake that he is, weaved and churned, released them off the case, and flew in a DC grand jury. Jack Smith had been using a grand jury in DC to investigate Trump's classified document case. So the same grand jury that just indicted Trump over J6 in DC is the same grand jury that indicted Trump in Southern Florida. Well, I'm not an attorney, but isn't the grand jury, if you're going to indict someone on some Florida federal stuff, but if that has to do with Florida, they got to be based out of Florida, like in Manhattan. It needs to be a Manhattan jury. It's got to be from that district, if I'm not mistaken. So, from what I'm seeing right now, the judge overseeing that case, she's angry. Right? She's seeing all the games that Jack Smith is playing. I mean, this case particularly might blow up in their faces like they couldn't even expect. So the Manhattan Alvin Bragg case is put on hold until, because it's a district case, right? It's a state case. It's not federal. Because it's a state case, it takes a back seat to the federal. So it's on pause right now until all of these federal ones are done. In this case, we have a good judge, Trump appointee. She's honest. She's calling out Jack Smith and his BS. Good. The new J6 election one, I'm not even worried about that. Trump's attorneys, if you guys have been watching, they've been going on CNN, MSNBC, CBS, Fox. They've been dancing with joy and glee. They said, we've been wanting a case like this. We've been wanting to bring the election in front of a judge for the past 2.5 years, and now they're doing it for us. And a quick update. It does look like Trump's team is getting what they wanted when it comes to live streaming the trial. That's what Trump wants. That's what his team wants. Mike Pence is going to be their star witness. I told you guys about that. He's about to be put to shame. Oh, and Mike Pence's former advisor to when he was the vice president endorsed Donald Trump this morning. Ladies and gentlemen, if you guys like the work that we do here, you guys can support this channel in 2 different ways. Number one is I have a sponsorship with Mike Lindell and his company's My Store and My Pillow. Use links down below in the description with promo code ANN at checkout. Huge discount. There's also a link to my merch store, megamerchus.com. Get you a patriotic t-shirt. There's other ways you can support and reach out. Please make sure to like, comment, subscribe, and share these videos. Let's get the truth out. Trump 2024 or sooner.